Hey guys, this is Mr. H. Hey, I'm going to do a video on how to solve basic equations. I'm going to do a couple of examples where you just have a bunch of terms, and then I'm going to do one or a couple examples, or at least one example where you have to do distribution. So let me just get going. Right now on my iPad, you see problem number 4. It says a negative 48 plus 3x equals 9x plus 84. Now, the goal of this is when you get done is to have 1x equals some number. All right, so that's what we're trying to do. Now, the way that I teach this, there's a bunch of ways to do this, but the way that I like to do it is I use something called boxes and circles. And the reason I like it is it's pretty easy once you understand kind of the rules. So very first thing you're going to do is you always want to draw a line down the middle of the page, because that is the line that tells you look, you're going to move terms from one side of the equation to the other side of the equation. All right. So the first thing you're going to do is everything has to go into either a circle or a box. So everything, the plus signs, the minus signs, the negative signs, everything has to go into either a box or a circle. Now, the way you determine what goes into a box, if it has an X, it goes into the X box. If it doesn't have an X, it goes into the circle. So, for example, this negative 48, I'm going to bring this down a little bit. This negative 48, that's going to go into a circle because it doesn't have an X. The plus 3x is going to go into a box. And notice I put the plus 3x all in there, and I'll explain why. And then you go to the other side of the equation, you see 9x. So that's going to go into a box. Let me see if I can make a better box. All right. And then the plus 84 is going to go into a circle. All right. Now, boxes and circles do not like each other, so they're going to try to get away from each other. Boxes is going to go to one side of the equation, and circles are going to go to the other side. It really doesn't matter which way they go. They just want to be away from each other because they can't stand each other. So in this case, I'm going to move this. I'm going to change the color. I'm going to move this a negative 48, and I'm going to bring it over here where the plus 84 is, and I'm going to draw a circle. Now, the only rule that you got to remember is anytime you move something across this line, you got to change the sign. So this is a negative 48. So when I move it across the line, it's going to become a positive 38. All right, almost done. Now, same thing. I want to move this 9x over here to the left where the 3x is. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to move it here. And then I'm going to draw a box. Now, this is a positive 9x. So when I bring it over to the left, it's going to become a minus 9x. And then again, now all I'm going to do is I'm going to combine the boxes together, and I'm going to combine the circles together. So this is going to be a positive 84, or 84 plus 48, which is going to be 132. And then over here, this is going to be 3x minus 9x. So 3x minus 9x is going to be a negative 6x. Now, by the way, if you're not sure about those numbers, just use your calculator. So this will be 84 plus 48. And that's 132. And then we got 3 minus 9. And we get a negative 6. So both of those are correct. Now, once you get all the x's on one side and all the circles and numbers on the other side, you divide by whatever number is in front of the x. So I'm going to divide this by 6, which means I got to divide this by 6. So now, negative 6 divided by negative 6 is going to be 1. So this is going to be 1x, which is what I want. And then all I do is I go 132 divided by -6. So if I go here, I'm just gonna go up here, copy, and I'm gonna divide by a -6. And my answer is a -22. So if I go back over here, you can see 132 divided by a -6 is a -22. So that's my answer. Now, the easy way to check this is just to take this number, a -22. Let me go back here. Take a -22 and then store it. And the way that you store is you press the control key and then you press the variable key. And you should see this little arrow, and then we're gonna store that number into X. Press enter. Now that I've done that, all I have to do is key in the original equation. And if this answer, a -22, is right, I should get a true statement. So let's go do that. So this is gonna be a -48 plus 3x. Let me do that again because it didn't show up. A -48 plus 3x equals, here's the equal sign, 9x plus 84. And then you press enter. And it says true, so that means our answer, that means we've checked our answer. That means this is correct. We checked it. All right, so that's how you do boxes and circles. Always box up everything that has an X. If it doesn't have an X, you put it in a circle. And then circles go with circles and boxes go with boxes. The only rule is if you cross the line, you have to change the sign. That's the rule. Cross the line, change the sign. So I'm gonna write that, cross the line, then change the sign. That's the rule. All right, now I'm gonna do one more example and then I'm gonna post this. So what I do is go here, let me go back. Now, these, I'm gonna do number 2. Now, anytime you have parentheses, before you can do boxes and circles, you have to get rid of the parentheses. You can't do this. You can't go, oh, this is a box. Oh, this is a box. Oh, this is a circle. Oh, this is a circle. You can't do that because that's not right. What you have to do is you have to get rid of the parentheses first, and then you're going to box it up. So let me show you how to do that. So now, this is, anytime you see parentheses, it means multiplication. Okay, anytime you see parentheses, it means multiplication. So what we have here, this is a -4 times a -3. So a -4 times a -3 is going to be a positive 12x. So I'm doing this. I'm doing a -4 times a -3, and that's a positive 12x. And then the second part is I'm going to do a -4 times a positive 10, and that's going to be a -40. All right, so that is distributed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just rewrite the rest of the equation. And there we have it. Now that I've gotten rid of the parentheses, I can do boxes and circles. So right here, this -5x is going to be a box, and I want a nicer box. And then let me try that one more time. I want a nice box. And then this is also a box. This is going to be a circle. And this is going to be a circle. And I'm going to draw my line down. That's the cross the line, change the sign line. Now this one is easier. So I'm going to take this -40 and I'm going to bring it over here and I'm going to make a positive 40. So now I'm going to combine these over here on the right hand side. So I have a -96 plus 40. So watch this. A negative, let me get rid of this, menu 15, get rid of this stuff. This is going to be a -96 plus 40. Enter. That's a -56. Now, on the, well, so that's gonna be a negative 56. Now, on this side, we have two boxes. I'm gonna make one box. And it's just gonna be a -5 plus 12. So if I do a -5 plus 12, that's 7. So if I go here, if I do a -5x plus 12x, I get a positive 7x. Now, last thing, I'll put this in a circle. Last thing, when you get the boxes and the circles on the opposite sides, whatever number is next to the x, you divide by. So I'm gonna divide this by 7, and I'm gonna divide this by 7. 7 divided by 7 is gonna be 1, so we got 1x equals, and then a -56 divided by 7 is a -8. So that's our answer. And again, I can check this by storing a -8. I'm gonna store that into x. We got it, and then I'm just gonna key in the equation. So this is gonna be a -5x minus 4 parentheses times a -3x plus 10 close the parentheses equals a -96. Now, so if a -8 is the right answer, this should be a true statement. And I get a true statement. So that means we checked it. And this is the right answer. All right. So that's how you do boxes and circles if you have parentheses and also when you don't have parentheses. All right. I'm gonna upload this. If you have any questions, let me know tomorrow. All right. Bye.